In John chapter 4, we meet the woman at the well as Jesus meets her there. And what we see is a woman going around and doing her ordinary business, her ordinary life. Every day she has to come to that same well. Every day she has to fill it up with water, her cup with water, and take it home. It's heavy. She has to carry the load all by herself. It's not the only thing she's carrying. She's carrying shame and embarrassment, a broken past, a broken heart. And in the middle of this scenario, we find Jesus sitting there waiting for her. And he asks her for a drink of water. And he says to her, if only you knew the gift of God that was asking you for a drink of water, you would ask him, and he would give you living water. See, we find this woman at the well. She was thirsting for truth, thirsting for love, thirsting for a change. She needed an encounter with Jesus, and she didn't even know it. She's been filling up the cup of her soul with broken relationship after broken relationship. She's been filling up the cup of her soul with religious questions and ideas. Nothing has satisfied, nothing has quenched that inner thirst. And here comes Jesus, and he introduces himself to her as the living water, the only one that can quench that internal thirst. For you and for me, we might be trying to fill up our soul. We might be trying to answer that thirst that keeps bothering at us in different ways. Tim Keller has a great book called Counterfeit Gods. And in it, he talks about how in the Western world, and in North America in particular, how idols are not necessarily figurines or carved images that we worship, but they're internal realities, things that we pursue and put above God, things that we make ultimate, that we say, if I only had this, then my life would be complete. Or we say about them, if I didn't have this, I would be empty. I would be worthless. And so he outlines a few of those things, and I want to talk about just some of them right now. I want to talk about them in light of the woman at the well and in light of the things that we try to fill up our souls with. For an example of one, this cup says money. For some of us, money is what we go to quench our soul's thirst. We pour into this cup our time. We pour into this cup our attention. We pour into this cup our identity. Our identity becomes numbers in our bank account rather than who we are in Christ. Perhaps you grew up in a family of origin where money was an extreme value, where if you had more money, you were looked well upon by your parents or your family, where you needed to have enough money to feel happy, to feel secure, to feel okay. And so the pursuit is more money equals not more problems, but more freedom to do what you want, or more status, or more security. Your identity becomes lost in this money, and you're using money to find your identity. For some of us, it's not really the money that I need. I need to spend that money in order to help my image. This cup says image. And so we try to quench our soul's thirst by pouring into this cup of image. We want the newest clothes. We want the latest technology. We want the biggest house, the best job, the most status. And we keep pouring and pouring and pouring into this cup of image, hoping that others will look at our lives and say, wow, he really has it all together. Or wow, she really is successful. That image that we project to other people, we're trying to find our purpose, our identity, our value, our worth in that image we project. For some of us, we don't feel complete, like the woman at the well, unless we are in a relationship with someone else. Unless we have that guy or that girl notice us. unless we have that status as engaged or married. These relationships define us to a degree that we don't know who we are without them. We're pursuing broken relationship after broken relationship, trying desperately to find wholeness. And so we pour our bodies and our time and our attention and our emotions into this cup, like the woman at the well did. And we hope that somehow this is the cup, this is the one, this is the guy or the girl. Or we hope that our family finally gives us approval in our life, that those relationships are finally healthy, that we hear "I love you" from our mom or our dad if we never heard it before. We're seeking their approval. We're seeking our security in those relationships. Perhaps we want our children to have good memories of us or to like us the most. And these relationships are what we're looking to rather than Christ. For some of us, it's not relationships. In fact, relationships are what have hurt us to begin with. Relationships are what we run from. And so what we want is independence, power, and control. And this cup says power and control. And we pour our time and our attention and all of our emotional life into getting power and control. Perhaps in your family of origin, you grew up in a controlling environment. You were told what to say, when to say it, how to dress, how to look, how to react. You were controlled and micromanaged. And so now that you're an adult, inside you've said to yourself, "I will never be controlled again." And so you pursue power and control, and you start controlling situations and timetables and other people, thinking that if you have enough power and control, you won't be hurt again. You won't be manipulated or abused. And so we pour our water of our life into this cup of power and control, thinking it will fulfill us. And maybe you've heard all of these different things and you thought, "I don't relate to any of that." And maybe you just want a good life and you just want to be happy. So this last cup, it's this comfort. Some of us just want to be comfortable. And that's where we've put our life's water. That's where we've tried to find refreshment apart from Jesus. I just want to enjoy watching this show or binging this Netflix series. I just want to play that video game and get to the next level. I don't want conflict and deal with interpersonal issues. I'm just going to avoid that. I just want to be comfortable. Or I don't want to pursue these dreams that I've had or wanted or even try to think about who I could become. That's too hard. That's uncomfortable. I want to be comfortable, and that's enough for me. And so we try to find refreshment in these comforting things. Maybe a comfortable house, a comfortable job, comfortable living. We just want to be comfortable. And so we try to quench our inner thirst in these various ways through money, our image, relationships, power, control, and comfort. These are just some of the ways. And what we find is we're so thirsty, we're so dry, we're so empty, and we're coming to these sources saying, "Refresh me, fulfill me, let me find my identity here." And we go to the cup of money and we drink from it. The problem is it's empty. It's empty. There's nothing in there. I can't find my fulfillment here because I need Jesus. So I try another cup and I say, "Well, money didn't work for me. What about image? What about, I don't have to have the money. I just have to look like I have the money, right?" And so I come to the cup of image and I say, "Let me take a drink." And there's nothing there to quench my thirst, to quench my spirit. It's empty. So then I think, well, maybe I'm pursuing these things on my own. Now I'll come to the cup of relationships where the woman at the well came and she tried to drink 5 different times. 6, really. And we come to this cup and we try to find fulfillment in who other people say we are, and who other people think we are. And it's empty. It's empty. There's no water. Maybe it's satisfied for a moment or a second, but long term, there's nothing to refresh me there. There's nothing to quench my soul. So I think I just need to control things more. I become a bit of a control freak. These relationships aren't working. My finances are a mess. Other people are looking at me like something's wrong with me. I need to control things. And we try to gain power and control. And I think this is the one. This is the cup. I'm going to drink of it and I'm going to find life. Again, it is empty. It is empty. I don't have as much power as I think. I don't have as much control as I would like to. It does not satisfy. So I think I just won't hope for anything. I just won't dream anything. I just won't want anything. If you don't expect anything, you won't be disappointed. And I try to drink from that cup, the cup of comfort, the cup of being comfortable. And it too is empty. And all of these empty cups reveal something about my empty soul, that apart from Jesus Christ, there is no living water. I need him. I need his refreshment. I need him to pour into my life. I need him. I need the water that only he can give, because only he can quench my thirst. Only he can pour his living water into me. I need that water, that living water that Jesus said to the woman at the well in verse 10. If you knew the gift of God that has come to you, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. What cup are you pouring your life into? Have you had a drink from living water, from the presence of Jesus Christ, the only place that can satisfy, the only person that can quench the very thirsting of our deepest desires of our soul? Come to the living water.